Hey guys, a little bit of a change of pace on what we're recording today. This is a team ranked game on Dry Arabia. This is with my buddy Lunj, um, and we're playing against Pot Moves and Daisy. So let's go into cinematic mode. We are going. Let's see, caster mode. Caster mode is only available for 2-player matches. Oh, okay, interesting. Anywho, we'll open this up. We have a good spawn here. We are Mongols. My ally is Ottomans. We both play very aggressive, so we're always doing kind of aggressive type strats. In 2v2, since the map is bigger, it works, but you do have to be a little bit careful. He's playing Ottoman, so this is his build order. He gets immediate stone, and let's reveal map all. He gets 5 on stone, and then he's going on to wood, and he's dropping a military school immediately. And I have this Ubu right next to my TC, and we're picking up there. Across the map for me, we have Daisy, who's an English player, and he's just doing just a kind of a standard age up. He's got 7 on food. He's gonna have 3 on gold here shortly. And our French player over here, Pope Moose, he has 7 on food and 3 on gold. So it looks like they're both kind of doing the same kind of opening here. Let's see where this guy goes. Oh, is he housed? Okay, he kind of messed up. He housed himself here. A little bit of a mistake. Yeah, 8 on food. Over here, Loon still got 4 on wood, and everyone else has transitioned on to food. We had an okay sheep paw, not great sheep paw. You can tell he's got a lot. Our English opponent had a lot better sheep pickup with 5, and he's got his sheep there. Loon's already dropped off his sheep at his base. Yeah, he's got a good amount of sheep here. And we're running out of sheep here. But we've got 9 on the food, and we do have our gold is kind of in a funky spot here. We're over there with our gold, and we're rallying new villagers onto wood now. So yeah, it's just kind of a standard opening. Since we are playing against France and English, I'm definitely looking for a fast H2. You know, I don't know if English is spawning straight across from me, so that's why I don't want to go with an aggro, kind of a horseman rush. You know, if I do and I have to run over here, it's pretty far. Probably wouldn't have panned out. So that's why just going to standard H2 is a better idea. Since this is Dry Arabia, trade is really difficult on this map because the trade outposts are kind of in the middle of the map here. So it's definitely risky to go for that. Let's just go to our team vision, and here, you know, we're looking at this is pretty much the age up timing. So he's already pushing and kind of scouting out our opponent here. His first spearman's already across the map, and his second spearman's about to pop out. So that's kind of. I know some players have asked for a tier list type of a deal. Ottomans are super strong this match or this season right now. They're definitely top 3, I would say, in terms of civs. They're super strong just because your ability to be this aggro this early at not much cost. A little bit sloppy here. He loses a spearman, and we knew that the TC here was close, so we kind of risk getting a little bit close and drop a scout so we have a good vision. And what we're doing now is we're aging up right now, and you know, by the time we age up, we want to have our con kind of back here, dropping these sheep off. So we're just kind of finishing scouting out this English player's base, have an idea of where the resources are. We can't super, you know, it's typically you're not going to be able to rush in versus an English opponent. It's just usually not what's going to happen. And we see the council hall coming up, so we already know a bunch of longbowmen are going to come out, so it gets pretty difficult. Here, a little bit of idle time. I think I was checking out his base a little bit. Yeah, I was picking up those sheep over there. So playing a little bit sloppy. One thing about team games is you'll find that it's definitely more forgiving than 1v1 being sloppy in your play. Once you get to a higher level, it won't be. But definitely, any elo that you're in, say you're silver right now, you'll be gold in team games, or if you're gold, you'll be plat in team games. 100%, I think. It's definitely a little bit of a little bit easier in some sense. Once you get to higher elos, you definitely won't progress as much. You'll definitely be more comping. But yeah, I think there's the lower elos of the plat, everything's probably going to be shifted a little bit. So since our opponent has got his tower over here, and we are talking, and we were chatting during this. I couldn't really hear him too much, but we typed to each other and stuff too. So that's another thing. If you are playing team games, if you're going in solo, try to make friends and get a teammate that you can play with constant, or have a teammate that you can play with, or try to make friends playing quick matches and get someone to play with you. And it just makes for chemistry and strats and everything just a lot more viable. So what we've been basically doing is we're dropping our manga die out, and we have gotten a stable out to deal with these incoming longbow, and we're getting our horseman upgrade, and we're dropping a blacksmith. And this is kind of what I've been doing recently, is just going archery range, stable, and then blacksmith instead of archery range into blacksmith. Um, Usually, I feel like it's more useful to get that secondary the stable out secondary instead of the blacksmith, just to get those horsemen out as soon as possible. So here our macro, we're macroing onto food. So I go up to about 7, 8 villagers on wood, and I'm just gonna rally up to around like 12, 13, 15 villagers on food to make sustain constant production from here. Um, I am dropping an outpost over here in my gold preemptively just in case they start raiding us. You never know. Um, my buddy over here, I'm coming around the top of the map with my con to finish scouting and get some raids. I can't really raid this English player, so that's why I'm kind of going around the back. There's this deer here, so I wanted to see if anybody was rotating on the deer, and we're gonna finish cleaning out this backside, and we're gonna check out this French player's eco. We find his stone outcropping, so we're just trying to pick up some villager kills on here right now with our manga die. We don't really want to raid the English player too much. The first horseman's coming out. There's the second one. We are also building a scout. A good habit to have is start incorporating scouts in your army, especially if you're playing against, like, say, Malians. You really want to have that. And we pull 10 of our villagers over to this deer patch because I didn't have the food, or rather the wood, to start building a pasture eco here. So we find this other deer patch over here of the French player. He's not on it, and we're just kind of checking out the back of his base, making sure we're trying to find something to kind of to pick. But they're kind of playing. They're playing pretty closed in their ecos. But we do see this stone outcropping getting mined, and that's why we pull back our manga die. We pull our con over here, and we start to raid. So this is kind of when you're playing against an English opponent and it's whoever. I usually try to avoid raiding the English, and I try to raid the other player. So here we kind of, we harass them. If we'd come in a little bit earlier, we had some idle time here. If we had spotted this early, it would have been really big. But we do see 2 ranges as well. So we know that he's going to be building a pretty balanced army. But since we're attacking here, um, my ally has kind of an opportunity to kind of hit here. And since he's hitting over here, I know that there's micro happening and stuff over here. And that's why I hit another little raid here. And our opponent does a good job in terms of reacting here, but he's going to lose a couple of mills. Loses one. And little things like that do add up, and more than anything, they put a lot of pressure on your opponent. So let's just reveal the whole map real quick. Got a pretty solid defense everywhere, and he's pulled the red player, the English player, has pulled all of his army to help defend the French player. So at this point, I'm running away from these archers. I know I can turn and fight this. I just wanted to make sure I was really clear of the fight, and we have horsemen coming in and love that the shift click shows. It kind of shows the movement of what I'm trying to do with the cutoff pattern here. But my allies telling me that the English are over there, so we pulled these archers to chase our Mangudai really far. They're way out of position, and we're able to kill a couple archers here. We're able to kill another villager here, and we're just gonna fall back again, stay out of range, and we're doing a good amount of damage, a good amount of pressure. The English base is pretty exposed, and we come in with our He's fighting over here. You get pings for your allies as well as your units. So we're able to dive with these horsemen here. We kill one villager. Again, the English GC does a lot of damage. So a little bit of a misclick on my part, sending these horsemen like I do through there. Over here, we're dropping a tower for back vision on this deer. I was kind of surprised that he hadn't transitioned into this deer. I mean, it is English, so it's not super surprising, I guess. We are sending our comm back to the base to drop off. Behind this, our infrastructure hasn't really changed. We're kind of looking into going into imp at this point, or not the imp, into castle. We have resources going up for castle, and we're investing a little bit in our units. Just not super heavy right now. Um, our cav rating force has gone up a little bit. Our Mangadites, we got a really decent ball of Mangadite here right now. So behind this, our ally, he's just been pressuring hard. He's just kind of really going for super hard feudal pressure. With the military school, he's getting a free unit every time. Yeah, he's cranking out this stable and archer, and so he's just cranking out a bunch of units, which is really putting a lot of pressure on for sure. And even here in with the meta, um, it's dropping range defense +2 or +1, so it's really big for those early kind of fights. Those matters. It also gives him movement speed. So he's basically got Yam and like a modified Tower of Victory bonus. So Ottomans are super strong, and the meta is very strong. So definitely something to look into. Um, he's been pushing. I know that his armies are both fighting over here. So I take this opportunity to kind of raid. I had a successful raid on gold last time. I also know he wasn't super committed on the gold. Um, so any gold slowdown that we do is always going to be kind of big. Um, so over here, we knew he had his wood line. It was getting kind of away from his TP. And sure enough, when we come around, his wood line is exposed again. This raid hits here, and he reacts, but he doesn't see this on the gold villagers until way late. So so he loses a bunch of villagers here, which is definitely painful for him. We pull back our guys here, but we can see the villagers coming out from here. And yeah, we kill these guys, and our opponent quits. So super quick match. Again, we play super aggressive, super aggro, and this just puts a ton of pressure on players. And some guys definitely, when it's this early, it makes them tap out pretty quick. So this is a really quick match. So we'll do one more. Again, it's going to be just an example of kind of a quick match where just the pressure kind of got to them more than anything. And this one is on Mediterranean. We're playing against Toneri and AOK TKEO. I don't know how to say his name. But they're abbasid in English. And we're Mongols and Ottomans. So one big thing is on Mediterranean, it's almost guaranteed your opponent is going for water. So if your opponent is going for water, you can get a super aggro burn down on their docks if you decide to do it with your teammate. If you try to do it solo by yourself, the timing on it is really really hard. From what I've seen in practice, it is really hard to be able to do it by yourself. So here we're dropping our stable immediately. 2 villagers on wood to be able to pump out that first horseman on time. 3 villagers on food. This villager is going to go on to food once he finishes. Over here, Lunj is picking up 50 gold, or stone rather, and then he's going to go on to wood, I believe. I'll have to look at his build order one of these days too to kind of play around with Ottomans. Yeah, and so he's dropping a military school. One of them goes over to here. So behind this, we are both scouting. Our opponent's scouting. Lund reacts to the scout of his opponent, and he's kind of tries to take kind of a cutoff trail and try to pick up. He's already ran through here, so that's why he's kind of trying to pick off any sheep to the left here, like which is the dark area that he hasn't seen yet. And he takes a good cutoff angle, is able to basically rob one sheep from his opponent, and now he's taking a straight angle, and it looks like his opponent's not paying attention. He's able to get that, so that's kind of a big deal there, being able to take proper angles and reacting. He basically stole 2 sheep from his opponent, or recovered 2 sheep that could have been taken from him. My con's running through, doesn't pick up a single sheep on this whole area. Kind of unfortunate. We do pick up one from their base. And right when we come across, we see the English player dropping a dock. So I'm just gonna stay and start attacking this villager. Um, I do see his gold. So this is a lot of early pressure. It's 145. You're already getting hit. Another thing about Mediterranean that makes it really tough to kind of get this early pressure is you do have to run all the way across the map. So I do mess up my macro a little bit here as well. You can see I've got idle time on my TC. I've got a horseman, a scout out, so not paying attention properly. And oh yeah, because his villagers were chasing me and kind of shooting me down and stuff. So I have to go back and drop this sheep off because I was running out of food. So that's why I do send back my con. I did wanted to stay. We do pick off a villager here, which is kind of nice. And our eco is kind of stabilizing again. If you look at the whole map review, I really like this map too. The white background of the mini map is really cool looking. Our opponent here, AOK, we'll just say AOK. He's got 7 on wood, so he's definitely going into a fish eco. He does get 1 fishing boat out, and he's only got 3 villagers on food, so his food production is kind of suffering right now. But he's about to ramp up. And the abbasid player doesn't go for um, water. He's going for kind of a balanced build, and this abbasid player actually kind of makes some big mistakes, but because it's short. So here, it's the 3-minute mark. We've got 2 horsemen, a scout. We got another horseman on the way, another scout on the way. We'll crank out scouts right now. This was supposed to drop, but it never did. Sometimes it's a little annoying, but it happens. Um, so yeah, that's why our food was a little bit slow. It was a little bit messed up. And we're 11 villagers on food right now, so we're super committed to this. This hasn't dropped yet. But we're burning this down. Our ally has lunj has come and he's kind of helped start burning down this dock. We see this outpost starting to come up, and we're gonna focus down these villagers building this outpost because this outpost comes up, this becomes just super way more difficult. So he's got a spearman, so we just let the spearman poke his scout, and again we kind of just get close. Micro, we're close to the dock. He mismanages his scout here, and he's got 4 boats out, but this is gonna burn down. So this is gonna become a huge loss of investment here shortly. I mean, he's getting he's getting decent food right now as is, but yeah, he's definitely losing overall. It's gonna set him back. The abbasid player is kind of doing a really slow um, kind of play, but he is going up with economic wing right now. Khan is kind of trying to pick up some sheep. We just had really bad sheep collection, and we have a bunch of idle villagers here. So again, pretty unfortunate, and just miss macro, losing a lot of sheep and stuff. Just kind of errors on our part for doing that. We do burn down his dock, and over behind this, we do burn down a fishing boat. So we've kind of established this. Lunj wanted me to kind of stay here to prevent another dock going up. In retrospect, that might have been the correct play is split the troops and leave a scout here for good vision. Because I do have 2 scouts here. So definitely what I should have done. But behind this, I'm scouting out this the back of the base here. We have pulled some villagers onto wood to start fixing that. We've got these villagers collecting 4 villagers onto stone so we can age up quickly, and just a couple villagers onto food. So definitely a lot of macro issues with us on this game. Behind this, we see his villagers on gold. We're raiding over here. We're able to take out a villager. We're able to take out a couple villagers, and we're gonna get a burn down on this mining camp. Retrospect again. Instead of this mining camp, go for this house. 100% go for this house instead. It's definitely worth it. Over here, again, if I had left 1 scout here, I would have seen this going up, and we stopped this dock from going up, and we would have idled these 5 fishing boats. So, again, a little bit of a mistake. I'm not paying attention to that. Our opponent here is reacting with double barracks to push us off of here. Not a bad move at all, but definitely he does overreact by going only spear. And this dock goes up. So again, this is our fault letting this happen without having another scout there. We do pull our stable over since we're transitioning to going to age up next to where our Uvu is going to go. We have dropped another Gur. and our villagers are gathering a ton of wood, and we're dropping a dock here so we can transition into food onto the water, because we felt that we had won the water, but we did realize that this dock did go up, so a little bit of a mistake on our part, and we pull back our cavalry to come help burn this down. I'm pretty sure docks got buffed. They have 2,000 HP now. I think they used to have 1,500. I'm not 100% sure, but they do feel a little bit more tanky. So the burn downs definitely a little bit take a little bit longer and take a little bit of a bigger mass to do. So that's why the age 1 burn down is possible. It is rough to do solo. It almost isn't worth to do solo. 1v1s you can kind of get away with it, but it's difficult again. So tapping up with a silver tree, our villagers are going to build this and then get back on the gold. This is a good map to trade because you have a corner market. Any map that has a corner market is a decent map to trade. We burn this down. We see the outpost going up. We see these longbowmen. That's why we kind of push here, kind of aggressive. Again, this longbowman, any longbowman that's kind of out of TC range, we just kind of jump. He's got a small mass of longbow, so we're just gonna micro way back while we burn this outpost down. And it's just a lot of used up food for him, wood for him. On top of these 5 ships. Not to mention he lost a 6th ship as well. We just do a little bit of damage on that just in case he cancels it. And he pulls up a bunch of spearmen. Again, not a bad move to have this amount of spearmen, but he needs to transition as well into archers. So we just fall back from here. No sense in doing that. And we're just going to kind of raid around the sides, see what we can find. And our fishing eco is kind of booming now. And we are sending villagers onto kind of sheep here again. Where Khan picked up finally some sheep and is bringing it back. If we go into just our vision, you guys can kind of see. Actually, and this would be kind of good to compare. Look at our vision. We got our base, and we have got basically the front side of our opponent's base checked out since like the 2-minute mark. And if you look at their vision, besides this water, they have as their base. Vision is really, really determining what you're going to do versus your opponent. Behind this, again, I'm raiding his gold again. I push him off of gold. Fall back. He kind of misclicks and sends this villager back. And we just kind of fall back. He's got some spearmen in defense, so no need to stay here. And we're just going to wrap around the back and see what we can find in flanking around there. And we are starting to drop our archery range. Unfortunately, we don't have our uvu up yet. It's a little bit of a mistake on our part there. We're going to start looking to do that. And we are cranking out our traders now as well. There's our first one over there. We'll just click them so we can see. Behind on this back line, find him collecting berries. We kill a villager. 1 villager again, pre 10 minutes is pretty big. So we come around the side and we're going to just keep checking. And he's kind of, getting pushed back a little bit. But we've done a ton of damage and we're way ahead at this point. I find his villagers on gold over here. This is probably how he he transitioned to this earlier. So we're just going to get a free to burn down basically on this mining camp. Again, every resource kind of built up. Our traders are getting 74 gold, so it's huge that they're getting 74 gold. My village just finished this food here. A little bit unfortunate. We do have a solid fishing eco going though with 7 ships, so we're kind of stabilizing our food that way. These guys, I'm not sure where they're going. We're rallying villagers onto here. Still idle time, a lot of idle time. I was probably figuring out what I was gonna do here. Oh, okay. So we're gonna go over and drop a tower again. It's good for vision. Good to react, to defend yourself from raids. Just because you're in a lead position doesn't mean that you're always going to... it's going to give us a little bit of vision and speed. So that's pretty big. Behind here, we're still kind of harassing his backline and stop him from building this outpost. Kill a villager. We did want to get a hit on this, but we didn't, so we didn't get a raid bounty there, so a little bit unfortunate. Smart on his part to notice that. Lunj is kind of holding here at the front. Can't really push against it because of the longbows, but not end of the world. Our opponent does have his fishing eco up and stabilized, but at this point, he's got 6 fishing ships and got 9, even though he started with docks before us. So that's the thing too. And I didn't lose a single. There wasn't wood that was ever had downtime or loss of investment. So little details like that definitely help. Here we start. Raiding his line, and here he starts sending a huge massive spearman. He makes a huge massive spearman. He makes 38 spearmen, and it's just out of my vision. Just out of my vision. Okay, so one spearman gets noticed there, but I didn't see it. Wow, that's pretty crazy. I didn't see that. And here was a chance for me to see it for sure, and I just didn't notice. I was probably microing or doing something else. Yeah, I was messing around with these berries. Kill one villager and we pull back. So we have a raiding force here. Um, we do have our uvu, we have our blacksmith, and villager's gonna go build a tower over here. Traders, we only have 3 traders, so we're not super committed. All these villagers on food, yeah, I put them onto wood. So, and that's not, and definitely again, that's not a bad call since we have our docks going. Alright, here Loon just pushing the front again. He's gonna burn down this dock, and again, our opponent's food is gonna just come to a halt. Over here, uh, Hanari is pushing me with this huge amount of spearmen. This definitely late. This is when I noticed. Way late. I was like, oh shit, he's got a ton of spearmen in my base. And it's all spearmen. So these are my Mangadai that we're gonna go raid. And I'm gonna have to bring them back here. We try to fast build a tower with these 13 villagers. We're gonna lose a bunch of villagers here. I just want to get this tower up though. You can see some of my villagers survive. Again, a little bit late on the garrison. So the big thing is here he's got a bunch of spearmen, 32 spearmen, so he's down 6 already. They're just gonna get chewed up a lot. Our Mangadai are on the way back. We're still building a cavalry mass here, and our first Mangadai comes out here. We are dropping a couple more ranges because I figure that he's hard into spearman production. Loon just came over with a couple archers, a couple of Sapahis. He's definitely helping me out here. It's nice. But again, our opponent's spearmen are just taking a lot of damage. And his army is so mobile because of the meta. He comes back, he pulls his army back, and he just he cleans this up. So it's important. This is what I mean by playing with a partner that can communicate or is helpful. That you guys communicate on some sort of basis. Because if he doesn't rotate, he definitely gets a lot more damage done on my TC. He probably gets burning. It might go down completely. My Mangadai were on the way, but again, just him reacting early helps out a lot. I do raid this backside here, but I run into a big mass of archers and spearmen, so it didn't work out. But that was my first cav raiding force, and I got another set over here. So it's not the end of the world. We're okay with that. And we've got 11 boats. So we have a really healthy food eco. We should have been making more traders throughout this, and that's kind of our fault. Definitely could move this as well, but we are looking to age up, and we're only tapping up with 5 villagers. I didn't want to be short on resources, tapping up with a bunch of guys since I did just lose a ton of villagers. So that's definitely one thing. Over here, Loon just back on the front. He's brought his army back over. He's pushing, and he's got mostly just Sipahi and archers and just a meter. So again, and the meter is huge because it's giving this ranged defense bonus. So it's definitely helping a bunch. Over here, again, we see another huge mass of spearmen. I thought he would rotate out of it, to be honest, and he hasn't. And then he's trying to push forward. I see with villagers. He's dropping a mill. Again, kind of surprised they wasn't going to build a wall or something. But we just pick up this free kills. And we are now aged up. And we're just going to look for avoiding any fight here. A direct fight. Trying to avoid any damage. And aging up with our Mangadai as soon as possible. We get the improved Sia bow limbs, which is nice. But it's definitely not... I think veteran Mangadai is probably a little bit better. Just overall as an upgrade. And yeah, we're just withering away guys here. We're doing a bunch of that. He can't commit to us. He's looking for a miss micro, which I guess there was an opportunity right there. But that's basically what's happening. He's just looking for a miss micro, and we're just not giving it to him. Behind this, Lunj is pushing. Our opponent's got a ton of archers. Sapaki with their fortitude ability, absolutely shred archers. It's crazy, and with his archer mass behind it, it really helps to deter any spearmen. Kurultai is moving up front. We pushed him off of these berries. He's trying to bring his spearmen over to go help his ally, but we're kind of pushing this side of the base. And again, kind of where abbasid really messes up is only making spearmen. If he had thrown some archers in the mix, would have been in a lot better shape in terms of the amount of harass that he was getting. Would have been reduced. We haven't upgraded our Mangadai, unfortunately. Definitely a bit of an issue. We do garrison this veil and start running away. One Manga, a little bit of a missed micro there, but not end of the world. Back in our base, we're still just running off 3 ranges, 1 stables. This guard definitely could be moved up, and we are up to 8 traders now, which is good. So we're just kind of stabilizing our gold, and we're up to veteran, getting our veteran Mangadai up, as well as our blacksmith upgrades are starting to come through, which is lunj over here has done a lot of damage, constantly just kind of keeping the English player down. English player has almost no gold. Villages just garrison, nearly no army, so English is just suffering really bad. He's been in bad shape because, I mean, the eco damage he's taken from trying to go to those docks and being denied. Here again, he garrisons, so we just fall back. We're happy just kind of holding this front here. Our Kurultai is still coming up, and he's trying to reestablish his base, trying to just basically settle here. But again, it's a huge army that Lynch has outside of his base. And our opponent here has brought his spearmen over to kind of help against the Sipahi, and we're just we're rotating a Mangadai over. Oops. We're just trying to find, anything. We're making sure that no docks are up. We see the spearmen here. Again, anytime we see spearmen, we're just gonna pepper them. We drop our attack speed arrow since Lunj is here with all of his archers. You guys are just absolutely shredded. Um, Even though Lunch, I mean, if he had his attack speed drum going, these guys would be even faster. It would have been ridiculous. But either way, he trades super well. We raid this wood line here. Behind this, our cav is kind of here. Our Kurultai is kind of set up, and we're producing horsemen. We're getting our upgrade for veteran horsemen. He still has a mass of just a solid train of units coming across this whole time. We're just cleaning around the side of the base, seeing what we can find. We do kind of see this wood line over here. We start raiding his gold line, and yeah, we start killing all of his wood villagers. He just quits. He's got and our Abbasid player quits as well. This amount of horsemen, they might trade out with this tower, even with garrison, but they were going to burn it down regardless. So yeah, and Lunj was attacking from the top here. So again, super aggro strats, lots of aggression is how we kind of play, and that kind of pulled us out ahead. I got quite a few team ranked games I've been playing with my buddies. I kind of been avoiding solo ranked, just I don't know, just have been. So I've been playing with buddies doing team ranked and stuff. So like sometimes 3v3s, sometimes 3v2. So we've been playing around and stuff, doing that type of stuff. And then usually I go from team ranked into solo ranked. But yeah, if you guys like that, or if there's any more that you guys want to see, just leave a comment if you liked it, and yeah, I'll try to get some solo matches in tonight and get those recorded too, so you guys can see that. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.